Probably my favorite thing about movies is the music. I love the cameras. I love the shots. I love the colors. I love the performances. But really, what always ends up coming away with me more than anything else, generally, is a film's score. If it's a memorable score, the film itself is going to stick with me much longer. If I find myself lingering on the notes, those notes are going to tie me to the images, are going to tie me to the characters, and my long-term memory banks, so to speak, much longer. And that very early on in my filmmaking journey became something that I wanted to explore, was the musical aspect. When I started telling my stories, very quickly I grew uneasy about using other musical tracks, even as temp tracks for my edits. I didn't like hearing other people's music on my stuff. And it wasn't about that I had to write everything myself. It was just I wanted to hear this film's actual music from the beginning. And I didn't want to emulate anybody else's sound. I wanted my own sound, whatever that film's sound, whether I'm working with a composer or I'm the composer. So very, very early, actually before I even picked up a camera, I started writing music. I started finding programs online. In those days, I think the program I used was Anvil Studio. It was a freeware MIDI software program. And then I found this like $20 synthesizer that had a little bit better sounds than the built-in MIDI. It was a synthesizer program called Wingroove, right? So this is like late 90s. And I just started writing music for the characters that I saw in my head, and that never stopped. I very quickly figured out how do I burn this onto a CD? How do I listen to this when I'm, writing my stories? Fast forward to today, as I'm gearing up for the second, and pretty much every film that I think I'm going to make, even the ones I end up not making, I will generally write music for. I will write music for either a character or a specific moment. Because the second is going to be a thing that I make, I've already written a handful of conceptual tracks for the second, and I'll be writing more. I think up to this point I've written 3. So I'll be writing more very soon, especially with these backstory videos that are coming out. But I wanted to share one that I wrote. I wrote this one, I think, about 3-4 months ago, and it's called "I Am Not a God," and that is a line that the second utilizes, or that says, and it comes out of a moment where she is, she's violated. She is exposed for what she is and for her capabilities, and very quickly someone in a very, very desperate situation forces her in a very physical way to do something for somebody else. And it takes the second back to a place of remembering some traumatic things that happened to her on her original world. And some of those things are going to actually be covered in the upcoming backstory chapters that I've been just starting to release. So she starts to remember, or it's not that she ever forgot, but it's kind of post-traumatic stress. She is, through this violation on Earth, she is forced to relive some things that happened to her. And so it's a song that is one of grief. It's a song that is of this mysterious. That's what I was trying to say. This mysterious, mystical element of the second. And then power. Because even though in this moment she's violated, she doubles down on her convictions and comes to a realization of what humanity is. And humanity's not so different from her people. And that's a problem. Because her people were destined for destruction, and they fulfilled that destiny. And now she recognizes that humanity is on that same trajectory. And her biggest concern is, don't worship me. I don't want to be worshipped. I don't want to be made into something that I'm not. I have this great power. It's not mine. In a way, that's what she says. So, that's what this song is. I Am Not a God. I'd love for you to take a listen.